Hello everybody, it's wee Paddy from across the Shuck, and I'm finally getting round to doing my review of my GEC number 78 American Jack in Elderberry jig bone. Now, I I'm sure anybody who's following my channel whatsoever might guess what sort of review this is going to get. This is how they come. If you don't know, if you've lived in a hole and you don't know, this is how they come. They come in a lovely tube, and you'll get the. There we go. It'll give you the number of the knife, which will be on the knife as well, and it says number 78 pattern. The blade pattern is number 2. There's one blade, and it was made in 2017, and it's elderberry jig bone, as you can see there. So that's the way it comes. It's just beautiful, and it's a lovely way to package things. That excitement of seeing that was nearly as much as the knife, only nearly. The knife is still a trump. And here it is here. It is the most beautiful knife I own, as in aesthetically. It is gorgeous. My 940 is beautiful, but this one has got something, just something, I don't know, statesman-like. Is that a right mean? I'm not sure what I actually mean, but I do know that I just have fallen in love with the work that GEC can do. Um, it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. It's the Tyriot branch of GEC. So although it's got a bolster and a cap, there's no lines. I'm not sure. I can't remember what the lines are called in them, but they're quite straightforward. There's not a long pull. It's just a nail nick, and then you have that spear blade, which is indicated by number 2 on the. Now let's just get up here and let's you have a wee look. What it says. There you go. Tyriot cutlery made in the USA. And then it's a GEC, and it's the carbon. That's the new thing they put now, CAR for standing for carbon. And as I said, 78, 2 is the model of the blade, 1 blade, and 2017. There we go. Now, what's different about this another knife? I just love the brass liners. I love the fact that there's no gapping. You can go around this knife. There's no gapping whatsoever. Now, this one is slightly off-centre, but it is by no means touching the side of the knife. And I was told that when I was bought it. Mr. Gearbear, who sold it to me for a really good price, really pleased me. And he has set me up on a road that I didn't think I was going to travel down. And I will travel down it. I don't know how far I'll go down. I'm still in that. I just think this is a beautiful knife, and I'm enjoying getting some more traditional knives, but modern and traditional. So we'll talk about that a bit later on. What I like about this one is that jig bone is just stunning. It's a real toucher because there's real deep grooves there. It's nearly like a claw. The Tyriot, can you see the little dots here? Excuse my dirty fingernail, but I'm playing with my knives today. The little dots are pins that hold that in place. Lovely brass pins through. Absolutely lovely. Now, I mean, just look at that. I mean, just the luster of it is amazing. And the more you get it and the more you sort of shine it with your hands, I can sit and just touch this for hours. The walk and talk is absolutely beautiful. I can pinch at it's only about maybe a 5.5, 6, I would say. There isn't that strong a hold on it. Maybe 6. Just now, I set it down normally. When I'm showing off, I'll give it the thump, but I don't normally do that. The blade itself, let's have a look at the blade. As you can see on that blade, it has been getting an awful lot of wear. If you see the top half, can you see the top half of the blade here? There's a line sort of going, and it's darker. I was having a steak the other night, and I cut it with this. And on this side and the other side, you can see where I cut the steak. That was the sort of thickness of the steak. And I cut through it, and it stayed that dark. It never moved. So it now looks a bit uneven. The back half, although it is still The patina is just coming. I use it for fruit, for anything, for boxes, for cardboard. I've cut wood with it. I've done everything I can possibly do to this knife to prove that it probably wouldn't be a great EDC, a main EDC, and the truth is, it is a very good main EDC. I didn't prove that wrong at all. It's beautiful. I put a lovely edge on it with a Lansky, and it's now, it's razor sharp. Razor sharp, he says. I'll get a wee bit of telephone paper just to show you that. There, I'm not going to do it anymore. It's just razor sharp. And to be honest with you, once I'd done the Lansky on her, I've only had to strop it ever since. And I would do that every night. At the end of the day, if I've used it, I just strop it. And I certainly, by no means, have I needed to sharpen. I really can't see any reason, as long as I strop it in the evening, it's going to be a long time before I sharpen it again. So therefore, the blade itself, although it's 1095, it is a very, very good blade for everyday use. It's easy to sharpen and it lasts a reasonably long while. I would say with it and my Boker, I'm going to bring in some comparisons. I'll give you a length on it. So let's get it there. So she's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5. 6.5 inches long with a 3-inch, just under 3-inch blade and a cutting edge of about 2.5. So what to compare it with, as in, this is stainless from 440. This is the Boker Barlow, which is another great knife. The 440C and that 1095 seem to last about the same amount of time, and they both strop up really, really well. I've also got the, for a comparison here, I've got the case, the nicest knives gave me. It's a Trapper, the Mini Trapper. It is the surgical stainless, whatever case you use, that True Sharp, isn't it? Is it True Sharp? Is that what they call it? I don't even think it says on it, no. I think it's True Sharp or something like that. And all three of them, this probably doesn't last as long as these two, but it still lasts enough for a day's work. And my top of the range modern traditional that I have here is the Lion Steel with M390, and that will outlast all three of them put together for a day and a half more. It really is a beautiful steel, a beautiful blade, and they're all different blade shapes, which I like. I'm seriously now thinking of getting, for the top end here, is to get the Benchmade, their modern traditional, and I fancy it in the canvas micarta. Just to make this, look at that, so that'll be sort of 5 really, really good. Now, I have other ones, but these are 5 that are exceptional quality. That case is great quality, although at the minute I've been sort of put off case. A few of my friends have bought case and they've been very bad. They've had to send them back. And in fact, one of the manufacturers, which is a big manufacturer, one of the shops that they bought it from said, look, we'll just give you your money back. We don't recommend case at the minute because the knives that they'd got there in the shop weren't of great quality. They'd had so many returns. So that's not really, doesn't give me a lot of confidence for case. So I'm going to try and get the Benchmade. I think that's the next one I want to get. And that would be a beautiful set of knives to start with, and we'll see where we go from there. I mean, I only buy maybe 2 really good knives a year, and that's only just started. I mean, I don't have to buy so many cheaper ones because I get them with GearBest. So that would be 5 knives that are of excellent quality and all different brands and blade steels. Every one of them is going to be a different blade steel, which is really lovely. That's what I enjoy, is getting the different blade steels. Not that I'm a steel snob, because this blade steel cuts and works as good as any other one. I'm not a steel snob whatsoever, otherwise I wouldn't be getting these. I'd be sticking with M390. So, there we go. I'll take these out of the picture now, because they're not, I'll just bump the camera there too. I'll take them out of the picture. So, would I recommend somebody who's just starting out or never had one before to go for a GEC straight away? Definitely. If you can afford a GEC, and they're more expensive than some of the other ones, Um, this is the same sort of price as my M390 one, so that gives you a rough idea. So you're not paying for the. I'm saying you're not paying for the blade steel, but this blade steel is great, and it just sharpens so quickly with a strop. I couldn't do that with the M390. The M390, I'll need to sharpen. I'll not be able to strop it for as long as I can. Look at that shine down that edge. That was done on the Lansky, which I really think, I use the diamond ones, and I've got the old stones. I've got it originally, but you see the diamond ones. It's so quick. I only used 1,000 grit diamond stone on this, and then the two sharpening holes to 2,000, and that was absolutely sufficed. It didn't take any amount of time whatsoever. The diamond is just so much faster than the ordinary stones. But if you can't afford it, the ordinary stones work just as well. And you just need a wee bit more patience. And sure, isn't that what it's all about? It's a bit of fun. There's no rush to get through your daily tasks when you've got nice knives to help you. So I highly recommend it. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I couldn't get it out of my pocket for 2 weeks. And I really genuinely had to force myself. It was like coming off the drink. I had to force myself to get off it and get something else in my pocket again and get it back into some sort of routine. I used to have a set routine. I don't know. I just sort of pick in the morning. I'll pick and choose, and sometimes it'll stay for 2 or 3 days. Sometimes just one day. Sometimes half a day. It can be as much as that, and if I have a chopsy day, I'll just go back and forward. But in the last month, this has had more carry than anything else, and I think you can see by the patina, it has been well and truly used and abused. Well, not abused. That's wrong. But I have used it for everything, and it's but not been found wanting on anything. To me, that's an old-fashioned man's working knife. And I just absolutely love it and recommend it fully. So, there you go. I'll let you see that jig bone. Isn't that just gorgeous? It really is touchy. Now, I'm going to set that down there before I start stroking it again. Thank you so much for watching. That's the end of this wee video. I'm off now, and I'll see you very shortly. It's cup of tea time. Bye now. Bye.